2.
Welcome back to a special edition of Talking Sports. Kip Kiefer, the legend, and the legendary Tony Curry joining us here. All right, it's in the Legend's contract. We can't have a show without talking about football. Doesn't matter if it's February or March or April.
No, it's always close.
And we're in June here. Kickoff's like a week away. So this is part of the deal. And I thought it would be fun today while we had you on to give us each a chance to declare ourselves the football emperor for a day. Now, Legend and I have done a segment, SEC Commissioner for a day, several times. But today, I'm expanding it to all of football. So I'm going to start with you, Tony, since you're our guest. If you could do anything, you were completely in charge of football for a day, what would you change? What would you implement? What would you do differently?
I got 2 things.
Okay, good.
First is serious. The second one's even more serious.
Okay.
First one is I'm sick and tired of the fumble out of the end zone for the other team coming back to 20. I know that's a rule that a lot of people talked about. I can't tell you how many over-unders I've lost in that stupid rule. If a guy's reaching over the goal line and he's trying to make a football play and he fumbles it out and no one touches the ball, the other team gets the ball to 20, it's a farce. It's inexcusable. It's a joke. Put it at the 1, take a timeout away, whatever. But when you're trying to make a football play and you fumble the ball out and no one touches it, if it's taken over by the other team in the end zone, that's fine, whatever. That's one rule. The other one is I would admonish, I would throw out all mascots. I can't handle mascots.
I gotta go!
How many more mascot commercials do we have to see? I understand you don't want to get on an elevator with the Arizona State Devil. I get it. I mean, how many times do we have to see puppy pads on ESPN commercial because the Bulldogs are in town? I mean, how many times? To me, and I know some people. I know.
And
Babe
you're
Ruth,
the emperor. It's gone.
I know Babe Ruth. I played Scooby-Doo at Kings Island Music Park, so I was a mascot, and I know what a big loser I was playing that Scooby-Doo at the time. I got thrown out because I got in a log flume with the head on
This is good
and I
stuff.
backed the water up. But I'm telling you, man, I'm so over. It's like Marmaduke. I mean, how many big dog jokes can you make? The Marmaduke cartoon, I can't even read anymore. I said, I get it. You're a big dog. I get it. But how many more mascot commercials do we have to see? Mascot commercials.
The only good mascot commercial ESPN ever did was the late, great Steve Irvin, the crocodile hunter. Remember the Florida Gator comes off the he goes, crikey, look at the size of that fella. And he's wrestling him to the ground. That was actually really funny. And he was wearing, the khaki, the whole get-up anyway. All right, well, that is some inspired ideas. Tony, Emperor for a day, go ahead and send that downstairs. Let's put it in place. All right, Legend, you have the crown. What do you got?
Well, we eliminating the mascots. Now we're eliminating the officials. That's right, you gone. No more little fat guy running over to the monitor to see it. In this digital age where we have the greatest technology in the world, let's put 100 cameras on the field, let's shoot it to a computer who can make a right call in a few seconds and eliminate them little fat men running over there to look in there, Kip, and wasting it. 2 minutes takes for 30 minutes. It's ridiculous. I eat a sandwich, chips, and call my wife on the phone before the 2 minutes is over with, Kip. It's ridiculous. Let's get rid of the officials, put cameras everywhere, put this digital. We'll make football great again. The second thing is, Kip, eliminate all these soft schedules. Let's make college football like the NFL.
No cupcakes?
No cupcakes. Let's make it like the NFL. Let somebody other than the college and the schools make the decision who plays. Let the NCAA make their own schedules and take the power out of the schools, and we will eliminate these cupcake schedules once and for all.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Yes.
We had Mike Leach on our show last week.
Yes.
They opened up against Northern Colorado, New Mexico State, some of the cream puff before they play UCLA in the 4th game.
Yes.
I said, no wonder the Pac-12 is never going to be in the college playoff.
Absolutely.
It ain't going to happen.
Absolutely.
It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen. If everybody had the same strength of schedule, then everybody would be in play, and it would be based upon your win-loss record, Kip.
All right, here's my turn. I've got 2 things that drive me crazy that pro and college both do differently, and they both do it wrong. Pass interference and overtime. They're both flawed systems in both cases. Let's start with overtime. College, they put it to 25. The NFL, you kick off. If a team gets a touchdown, the other team never gets the ball. That was the big modification a couple years ago. The college rule, let's start with that. Put the ball in the 35, not the 25. Then it's not an automatic 3 points, even if you don't move the ball an inch. Put it on the 35, that makes it a little more dicey to have to make a 52-yard field goal. It opens up the game. After the first or second overtime, if the game's still tied, we don't need these 7 and 8 overtime debacles like the game last year between A&M and LSU. Put a clock on put the ball at the 35, and you've got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Put the clock back on. I mean,
like
let's get an overtime rule that makes sense. The NFL's rule is ridiculous. They really need to go to more of a college rule in that kind of genre. Pass interference is my other major complaint. One of the most minor officials on the field, the back judge, usually is the guy who determines the outcome of a lot of games if he throws a flag at the wrong time. The NFL, if you just bump a guy 50 yards down the field, it's a 55-yard penalty. That's absolutely absurd. In college, if a guy's got you hopelessly beat, you just dive at his legs and tackle him, and it's only a 15-yard penalty. They're both wrong. There needs to be, and this is an extension of what the legend just said, Pandora's box is open. It's already all technology anyway. Go ahead and have 2 different degrees of pass interference, flagrant and incidental. The incidental could be a 10 or 15-yard penalty if it's just contact. If you knock a guy down or actually make a play to try to prevent a long pass to be completed, then okay, go ahead and put it at the spot. But it needs to be 2 different degrees. It's like having jaywalking and assault being the exact same level
and
foul.
the same cell.
Or if you're assaulting while you're jaywalking.
Exactly.
Well, and I think that New Orleans game, I mean.
There you go.
They were assaulting
Exactly.
while they were
Yeah.
jaywalking.
It completely determined the outcome of the game. The most flagrant missed call in several years. So we've got the technology. Like Legend said, take all the fat guys off the
take 'em
field.
off.
Have just one guy to spot the ball that the laser tells him, not the little guys with the poles on the
A
chain.
fast guy, a young guy, a sprinter.
Anyway, we're out of time in the segment. Those are our changes. When we come back, it's time to talk horse racing. If you can make it there at the Belmont, you can make it anywhere. Tony's even providing the sound effects.
Got the nose.
We'll be right back.